In the podcasting life, they must fight to survive, shackled by the chains of the past. They're the biggest of geeks, cause they watch every week. Subscribe to see if they can last. Go, go, Ranger Danger, we can't ever stop. Go, go, Ranger Danger, we will podcast till we drop, probably forever. Dino Child, yeah, whatever. Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Dino Child.
Welcome once again to Ranger Danger Dino Supercharge. This is the podcast where we wake up everyone who's sleeping so they can meet me on the road. New inspiration, no contemplation, deliberation, let's go, let's go. Wake up everyone who's sleeping, meet me on the road, raise.
I don't want to wake up everyone who's sleeping.
But they need to listen to the podcast.
Well, they need to meet you on the road, apparently.
Well, that's a good place to listen to the podcast.
That's true.
So, this is a podcast.
Yes, it sure is, Matthew.
That's step the one.
Yep.
Step the two is that it's about the Power Rangers.
Yep.
Specifically of the Dino Supercharge flavor.
Yep.
This is episode 12 of Power Rangers Dino Supercharge. It's called...
Catching some rays.
There we go.
Yep.
Rays. It is actually episode 821 overall. I'm going to do some talking and then some watching and then some more talking.
That is how it goes. You all right, Matt? It's been a big day.
It's been a big week, Michael.
Okay.
I had this moment earlier where I was walking to the city before I got here to your office, and there was a woman. Yeah, I know, right? Walking along the road, and then like a bus came down, and for a moment I was so sure it was going to hit her, and then it turned out she was actually on the sidewalk, and it must have been like hallucinating her position or something like that.
I mean, it's also possible that she moved because I don't like our listeners are international. They may not know every pedestrian in Sydney has a death wish.
Relative to you, certainly.
No, just like walking around here, just people just step onto the road without just even thinking about it.
Yeah.
As though there were horse-drawn buggies that they could jump out of the way of.
I think they're called chariots.
No, buggies. I'm comfortable with the use of the word buggy there.
Cool.
All right. Couple of things to talk about this week, Matthew.
Yeah.
They announced what the next Sentai is.
What is it?
They just announced the name.
Yep.
It's called Uchu Sentai Kaiju Ranger.
Oh, that's could be exciting.
Uchu is Japanese for space.
Hey!
So it's going to be a space-themed Sentai.
In space!
Well, they may be in space. They may be from space. They may just have, like, spaceship robots.
Maybe they just have lots of space.
They might be from space but have robots that aren't related to space in any way.
Is this... I know you may not be able to answer this necessarily. The first space-themed Sentai.
I am not able to answer that, no.
Cool. Good job.
I know that, like, In Space wasn't space-themed.
No, that was, like, computer-themed.
And Lost Galaxy wasn't space-themed.
That was, like, beast-themed.
Yeah. So,
maybe it's the first space one. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah. I wonder if they'd be, like, astronauts or... I don't know. I don't.
I hope that we get to a point where, because they're kind of reusing themes, the Americans are able to start bringing back people from prior seasons.
Yep.
I know you're very skeptical that it'll happen for the dinosaurs.
It won't happen for the dinosaurs.
But it would be cool if they got some Space Rangers back.
Yeah, that would be cool. I like all those guys.
That is, if they pick it up. I mean, they may not use that Sentai at all.
Yeah, so basically, by the time they get up to that Sentai, they'll have the choice of whether to use the animal-themed one that's currently airing, which I've just completely blanked on the name, where the Zords are all like cubes, or this space one. So, as far as I know, there's nothing in the cube animal one that, like, is screaming, no, please skip this.
Yes.
So, they may not decide to skip it.
I would say the cube animal one does look quite Minecrafty.
Yep.
I can see that being hard for them to turn away from.
Sure, but also, like, it'll be 2 years from now.
Sure.
And maybe Minecraft not as big with the kids 2 years from now, or maybe the kids are super into space again.
Yeah. Space is cool.
Kids are into space, right? I was into space as a kid.
I was into space. I can't speak for kids. But they should be.
They should. They definitely should be into space.
I mean, like, theoretically, they could go back and do that one with only 3 Power Rangers I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, I mean, the issue with going back is because they're producing this stuff, like, every week of the year, especially the monster suits, not built for longevity.
Yeah.
So I suspect, like, if you're looking at a couple of years ago, a lot of that stuff is probably either torn apart and used for new stuff,
Yep.
or just
Not holding up.
actually unusable.
Yeah.
So that's probably unlikely. And given that the Animal Cube one is usable, I suspect probably they'd choose to go that. I don't know, maybe they'll do what they did with Megaforce and do like 2 seasons with the powers twice. But like everything would have to line up properly for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, not that it really mattered to Megaforce, but cube animals to space seems like a strange...
Depends on, like it depends on what those Zords are.
Yeah.
Maybe they're space rockets that are cube-shaped.
That's true. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean...
We will soon.
Yeah, people in Japan who work on the show probably already have an idea.
Yeah.
We'll know, relatively soon.
Cool.
So lots of people know, I guess.
You know what other place people go to find out things?
Before we do this, I don't want to ruin your segue, but I have one other thing that I wanted to mention real quick.
Yeah, right.
Volume 1 of the Power Rangers comic has come out in trade this week.
Yeah, okay,
so
that's a good reason to
we
remember
mentioned it on Boom Room.
Yep.
But some people might not be listening to Boom Room because they're waiting for the trade.
Ah.
Right.
Well, now the trade is out.
So the first trade is out. It's got issues 0 through 4, I think.
Yes.
Which brings you to like the end of what I think Carl's calling like the first act of the story.
Yep.
So it's very good. We've seen all of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers now. It's better than all of that.
Yeah.
Much better than all of that. So like if you were waiting for it to come out as a book, now it's out as a book.
I can tell you that I was at the comic book store early today.
Yep.
And it is a good looking trade.
It's got a nice cover, doesn't it?
Yeah, like the whole thing is a nice looking package, which is great. It's
So-
got good stock. You can also, if you haven't been going to the comic book shop to pick up the trade, grab the first issue of Kyle's new series from Image Comics called Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah, I'm very excited to read that.
It's actually sitting on the table in front of us, but because I just came from the shop, we haven't had a chance to read it yet.
Yeah, I'm sure it is very good.
Yeah, I mean, and I had a very quick, like, I don't like reading too far ahead and spoiling things, but a quick sticky beak at the art, and yeah, the art by Rob Rice is just spot
He's
on.
a dude who can draw.
He can draw.
He can draw.
And this is his first, like, ongoing series.
It's weird.
Crazy.
So, you can get that, I imagine you can get that trade on Amazon, probably. Your local comic shop, even if it's not physically local, probably has an online store.
Yep.
Or you can actually go to a shop and interact with another human if you're one of those people for whom that's a thing.
You could even, there's a middle ground to be had there where you can call them up on the phone and not have to physically be there, but still hear their voices and just ask for one.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like the worst of all of those options to me, but
Yeah.
I guess you could choose to do that. So, like, genuinely, easily the best Mighty Morphin Power Rangers story anyone's ever told.
Yep.
Potentially the best Power Rangers story anyone's ever told. Like, there's a whole chunk in the middle there I haven't seen yet, but definitely is in competition.
Yes.
And from what we've seen of like the issues that come after that trade, only getting cooler and weirder. So
Yeah, I think this is one where if you don't get in on it now, you're going to regret it later because cool things are coming.
yeah, stuff probably will start getting spoiled for you on the internet.
Yep.
And you don't want that.
You don't want it.
Plus, if you haven't been listening, you've got like 5 bonus hours of Ranger Danger you didn't know about.
Yeah, you can open the door to the boom room and get in on so much booming. What is that sound?
That's the sound in reaction to the thing that you just said. So, Matt, where could people find the new episodes of Boom Room? I was trying to segue you back into...
Yeah, they didn't feel like a good one.
All right. Well, do you want to just...
Let's just pause. I have 3 seconds of dead air.
Okay.
And then I'll slowly ease into it.
Do you expect me to edit this or...
No,
okay,
just leave it.
That's fine.
Ready? We have an internet website, www.rangeagentpodcast.com. We have internet email, rangeagentpodcast@gmail.com. We have a Twitter for Twitter tweets, @rangedcast on Twitter. We have our Facebook. We have an iTunes for things. Get a Stitcher. You can get our podcast on the Stitcher. Google Plus for no reason. And other places. Plus, we have an interweb shop. It's www.rangeagentpodcast.com/shop. And on that shop, I would like to say, because I feel like I haven't said enough, are some fucking awesome shirts.
And a shower curtain.
And a shower curtain. All of which are awesome. But some very cool shirts on there designed by Michael. And I have ordered myself a Xandar Crest shirt that is currently on the way. Unfortunately, it was delayed. I got an apology email from Society 6 with a $5 voucher.
That's nice.
So that is nice.
Did you go for the grey?
I did go for the grey. It's a good
comfy
grey
shirt.
Get on the grey, guys. So yeah, go get yourself a Xandar shirt. Go watch this episode of Power Rangers Dino Supercharge, and then when you come back, no, you don't go anywhere. We go somewhere. You stay there. Stay there. We'll be right back, and then we'll talk to you about Power Rangers because we can do a podcast. We're not too tired to do a podcast. We're going to do it.
No, we're great.
Yeah. Bye.
Ranger danger, Ranger danger.
Welcome back.
I don't even know.
We changed the pace from last week, right?
Here's the thing. The last 3 episodes that we've seen of this show,
Yeah.
the one 3 episodes ago was like genuinely great. The one last week was 50% genuinely great, 50% horrifying, not bad, but just bizarre. This, took away the horrifying, ramped up the bizarre.
Yeah. It's very strange.
Oh, boy.
The show is definitely embracing its fun side. And by fun, I mean very specifically that sort of Batman 66, off-the-wall kind of humor.
Yeah.
And I'm all about it.
I
had a good time.
I don't know that I'd want every episode to be like this, but
yeah, sure.
As a thing, this was a good episode of television.
It was. I laughed out loud several times
with a couple of tweaks even to the story. That would be completely sensible and. I imagine if they weren't working around a weird Japanese footage restriction, you could write a version of that episode that made 50% more sense.
Sure.
But that was pretty good.
It was pretty good. I had a good time.
Alright, we'll take it from the top?
Yes.
So, we start with a surprisingly dramatic scene.
Yeah.
Of the Rangers and Kendall, who is a ranger, but you know what I mean, walking and talking through a dark corridor at the museum. And them saying, have you gotten in touch with the Silver Ranger yet? Because kids are going to get bored. We'd better hurry that shit up.
Yeah.
And, if we could find him, we've got a Zord who can go to space. So you could just go and say hi and see if he needs anything. And Kendall's like, guys, space is big. Okay? We've broken it up into 4 quadrants, but that has not helped narrow it down very much. Okay? What I know is which quarter of space he is in.
Which quarter of infinity he exists
Yes.
in. Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yep.
In the cafe, they've installed a new faucet. It's a tap extension thing that they can use to shoot water at angles.
I tell you what, there's no way that a place like that does food service
didn't already
would
have one.
not have one of those.
Yeah.
They're kind of necessary to washing dishes.
Yeah.
Industrially. Yeah.
But, it is a museum. Maybe the cafe is kind of new.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Coda thinks it looks like a water snake.
Yep. He doesn't like it.
Coda's the best character on this show. We all know that.
Easily.
And this is a good episode for Coda.
Yep. It sure is.
There's also an old lady at the cafe, and we know she's going to be important because, she's shot to be important.
Yes.
But we don't really know why yet.
I had a moment because he comes in wearing a big hat and glasses, and I was like, are they gonna like bring back an old ranger or something? But then I had the thought of like, no, none of the rangers are that old yet.
Yeah, I mean, even
we're not like Carrie Fisher old.
No. And also, like, Jesus Christ, would this be when and where they did that?
Yeah, God, wouldn't that be weird?
Okay, so anyway, she'll be important in a second.
Yep.
In the back, there's some shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
First, Coda is like, I don't want to go near it. It's like a water snake. And Tyler's like, it'll be fine. And Coda's like, okay. And Tyler goes, blah, blah, blah.
Sprays water in his face.
He's a caveman.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like,
a dick move, Tyler.
He doesn't understand so much of what happens on a day-to-day basis.
And he's experiencing real fear. Anyway, Tyler does that, and then the hose starts going out of control.
Yep.
Which, that doesn't happen like that.
No.
Ever. But spraying water everywhere, it's a real situation. Smash the credits. Apparently, that's our cliffhanger.
Oh, boy.
I desperately want to see the shooting script for this episode where it says, the hose at the faucet starts spraying a bit too much water, smash the credits.
Yep. I mean, like I was saying before with minor edits,
yeah.
I don't know, like, put the serious space scene before the credits? Maybe?
No, I feel like you could, like, just end on the old lady coming in and then have Kendall react like, it's you, credits.
Sure.
You know, like, there's a lot of ways.
I realised watching the credits, like, we've got like 8 or 9 episodes left of this show. I'm going to miss these guys a lot.
Yeah, I had that, strangely, that exact same feeling watching the credits. I am going to be bummed when they're not Power Rangers anymore.
Yeah.
Like, properly bummed.
Like, I like all of them, and I am hoping that the fact that there's a family relationship now going on means we get a crossover in the next year or two.
That'd be beautiful.
Like, even if it's just Coda, like, don't get me wrong, if everyone can do it,
Great,
make it happen. If it's just Coda that shows up, great, fine, do it.
Yep.
Make it run.
Totally.
Because I love all of these guys.
Yeah, especially the core 6.
Yeah.
Like, the other guys, the other 3 are great, but, like, we see them so rarely, it's hard to feel like we'd be missing them terribly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, and sorry. Oh, I guess we haven't got to it yet. So we come back from the credits.
Yep.
And Coda manages to resolve the situation with, I guess, a wooden spoon he's got in his hands.
Well, no, because the old lady manages to turn the water off.
Yeah, because Coda thinks he's won.
Yes.
So he does a dramatic spin away and says, water snake extinct. It's amazing
great.
gag. A+. Thank you, show writers.
Yeah. And of course, this old lady sees Kendall and she's like, sup, bitch, what the fuck you doing?
It's not quite that, but sure.
That's the tone.
Yeah.
It's the old lady equivalent of that.
Yeah.
It's Kendall's grandmother, Betty.
Yeah.
G-Ma Betty.
G-Ma Betty.
I like the Power Rangers having family.
Yeah, it's cute. And like, I can also see from her how you get Kendall.
Yep.
And also how you get their relationship.
Yeah.
Where Kendall's main problem with her is that she's too helpful.
Yep.
And for someone who, like Kendall, who's extremely self-reliant, that's an uncomfortable friction.
Yeah.
It's well done.
This stuff the show is really good at.
Yeah.
The jokes, let's talk about it a bit.
I mean, we just came off Water Snake Extinct.
Yeah, I mean,
that was great.
That was great. Okay, Betty found a giant rock.
Yes.
A big, shiny rock.
Yeah. The thing is, she talks like she's a smart lady.
Yep.
But she handles this object like she's an idiot.
Yeah, she's just got it covered in a towel.
It's like, I found this thing. Do you like things? It's not weird that I found a giant prism inside a caveman cave.
Perfectly circular.
Yeah. Weird.
But, Matt, weirder than that, Coda knows what it is.
Shock.
Surprisingly compelling stuff.
It is
right?
actually, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I actually, like...
I'm invested.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see what happens next, yeah.
So, Coda's like, take me to where she found that right this fucking second.
The Coda version of that, sure.
Yeah,
like,
take me to cave.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because Coda's played the way Coda is,
yep.
Whenever Coda says anything serious,
yes.
It hits hard because his default mode is joyous.
And I think the other thing too is the show hasn't, other than the fact that everything Coda says is like, Coda, caveman, it hasn't really traded on him being a caveman that much at all.
No.
So the idea that now the show is going to like make something of that fact and do something with it, really interesting and exciting.
Yeah.
So they find the cave. It's hidden in some woods.
Yep.
It's the cave where Coda grew up.
Yeah.
It's his family cave.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. He gives them the grand tour. There's the fire on the ground.
Yep.
That's it.
There's Matt, there's some paintings on the walls.
There are some paintings on the wall.
And there's also the rock line.
Yes. Apparently that rock line was placed there so that all the family in the cave knew not to cross it, because Coda's grandfather said, do not cross this line, it's very important, we don't go back there.
Yeah, it's the forbidden part of the cave.
Yep.
And his never cross the rocks. And I think it's Chase who's immediately like, buddy, they're just rocks. Just fucking, it's rocks. What you going to do?
Yep.
Which I understand, but also you guys got powers from a magical space alien who gave you magic glowing rocks. Like...
Yeah, their position would be understandable in our world.
Yes.
But in their world, that's probably a legitimate concern.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're one of those teams of Power Rangers that are science-based. They've got, like, a wizard alien who just lives with them all the time.
Yep.
Just maybe be a little more... Like, you're telling me Kendall doesn't have a magic checker machine?
Do you think they ever ask Keeper questions?
Why would you? He's just going to answer them. Then you have to talk to Keeper. There's no upshot to that.
I love the idea that, like, he's an alien and probably had a rich alien life and knows about life all throughout the universe.
Where's he from?
Yeah.
Even just as simple as, like, what planet is Keeper from?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Except if Keeper tells it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, what they really need is another alien to ask about Keeper without Keeper being in the room.
It's like when you go to, like, Christmas with the family and you think, oh, I'll engage with my racist uncle. Like, he's still family and we'll talk.
He's a human, he'll have experiences.
But then, he's just going to start with racism and you're not going to have fun.
No, it's not worth it.
Just don't do that.
It's better that you both go to the grave without really knowing each other.
So Coda crosses the rocks.
Yep.
And nothing happens. It's a silly rule, he says. It's just... That's great.
You'll learn a valuable lesson about that one.
So he goes out the back.
Yep.
And there's another kind of smaller room there, and everyone goes through. This is really like... It's not going to win an Emmy, but for this show, nicely shot, nicely put together.
It is.
It's like there's light streaming through a small gap. It feels dark.
Once again, the difference between this and Mighty Morphin is that people making the show care.
Yeah.
They don't need to care this much, and they do, and it's nice.
And so the main feature of this forbidden room is that there's, I guess, like another room blocked off by like a rock cave-in and a bone that's holding the rocks there.
Yes.
And I think like someone says, oh, let's see what that is. Shelby instantly goes, hold the fucking phone. Maybe we shouldn't do that. As she says it, Chase and Riley have already moved the bone. It's too late.
I love that it's Chase.
Yeah, like, of course it's Chase.
It's just, Chase may have learned and have grown, but it's still Chase.
He's still Chase. He's like, oh, but maybe it's haunted. That'd be great. Right?
Yeah, that'd be a fun time.
It is haunted. The rocks glow and an evil spirit flies out.
Yeah, it suddenly turned into Ghostbusters.
Yeah. It turns out that cavemen knew what that was all along. On a slightly this is entirely unrelated note, but on a kind of similar thing, they found a ship in Canada.
Hang on, is this outside of the realm?
Yeah, this is in the real universe.
Okay.
Like an old ship from like Canada's history that went missing.
I'm already scared.
And no ghosts.
Oh.
Anyway, the reason I bring it up is because we were talking about like maybe the cavemen knew what they were talking about. The thing here was if they just asked the native people who live there, their native name for it is like place where big ship is. And this ship had been lost for like hundreds of years.
It's got to ask people questions.
Yeah, it turns out that if you communicate with other people, maybe someone will go, I've had a thought.
Yeah.
Maybe place where big ship is the place to look for the ship.
Maybe the place where big ship is the place where the big ship is.
I mean, maybe not, but,
worth a crack. It's worth a look.
This is the monster from Coda's grandfather's stories.
Whoa!
It has surfboard wings and pine tree shoulders.
You know, surfboards. That cavemen were real into.
I understand the limitations that they're working with, but God, if this had been like just a monster that didn't have a modern, like they've got a stripe and fins and text on it.
Yeah, did you see what the text said?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't. But like, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because any other thing would. Yeah. Anyway. So at this point, you may think you've got a grasp on what this episode is, right?
You don't.
Coda fucked up. He let loose a thing. They're going to have to fight it and like reseal it or defeat it, whatever they do.
You got nothing.
Oh my God. This episode is about to just 90-degree hard turn, handbrake right in another direction.
I would say like 180, if anything. So when the monster bursts out, it almost Rita repulses it. And he's like, I've been trapped for 100,000 years. So, I got a question.
Yeah.
Did it have a fucking calendar? Why does it know about the timekeeping system?
It's been marking lines on the...
Yeah, before we invented years.
Yeah, I mean, yes, okay. Maybe it was tracking days and then it knew to convert them.
Yeah, tracking days in the cave?
Yeah, it could see the moon through the sunroof.
Yeah, maybe you should just fly
down this glass. It's the sunroof.
Oh, cool.
It's a window.
Yeah. Made by people who made this episode.
How did Rita Repulsa know she'd been there for 10,000 years?
I mean, she could see out of that. That shit's canonical.
Okay, look, anyway. But she was on the moon. How does she know how long a year is?
I feel like...
I mean, she could track months. Okay, anyway. So, they do a bit of an unmorphed fight. Which is cool. I miss them.
Yeah.
I miss them. They're very good and exciting. That Yoshi bloke, he can do some spinning kicks.
He can do a lot of flips.
He can do lots of flips.
And I am on the record as saying a flipper is a keeper. It doesn't quite rhyme. I'm going to work on it.
Okay. I don't remember if we talked about it on the podcast. Matt's theory of who the best superheroes are is the ones who can do the most flips.
Yeah, like... I'm not saying it's the best, right? I'm just saying most popular. The more your character flips, the more successful it's going to be.
Spider-Man?
I think Spider-Man is like the originator of the
flip theory.
The flip theory, right? Like in the 60s, he came onto the scene, did a lot of flips, took over everything, was massively successful.
Sure.
Yeah. Then you got into the 1970s. I've forgotten who my 1970s example was.
Is it Batroc the Leaper?
No. We'll come back to Batroc. Okay. Well, then you get into 80s, the 1980s, and you've got people like Daredevil.
Yep.
Who had a massive resurgence in success. Also big on flips.
Yep.
Then go into the 90s. Deadpool hit the scene. Incredibly popular.
Lots of flips.
So many flips.
Lots of flips.
Then we got into sort of like the 2000s.
Yep.
And that's when, although she was created in the 90s, Harley Quinn really hit her stride in the 2000s.
Lots of flips.
She started flipping a lot more,
yep.
I'd say, if anything. And you've just got a long history of flipping leading to success. But my theory is that it can't just be flipping.
Right.
Because we don't want to acknowledge, we don't want to know consciously that flipping is what we want. We want it to have a flavour.
Sure.
So it's spider flavoured or like weird clown flavoured or like blind lawyer flavoured.
Yep.
If it's just flipping, it's not good enough.
It's too obvious. It draws attention to, like, if you had Flipper Man, he'd be like, all I do is flip, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah, and I think that's where Batroc the Leaper went astray, right? It's like he just jumps.
Sure.
And it's like, that's great, but like it doesn't have the subtlety that we need, the nuance, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
So Coda,
yeah,
by flip theory,
yeah,
best Power Ranger.
Yes, absolutely. I've also got a theory as to why we like flips so much as a species.
Hit me.
It's because we like our expectations subverted. And we're so, like, all the time when we go through our lives, people have their heads above their legs. But when they flip, it's a complete 180 and then another 180 to make it 360.
Yeah, sure. Because otherwise they just land on their heads.
Yeah. And that's mind-blowing, right? But once again, kind of like Batroc, you don't want to just have someone be upside down because that's too confronting, that's too much.
Right.
It's too on the nose. Tim Burton's Batman film.
Yes.
It has Bruce Wayne sleeping upside down like a bat.
Yep.
And you see that and you're like, too far, Tim Burton. You tried, but you took it a step too far.
I see a lot of things in that movie, and I think too far Tim Burton.
Exactly. Like, if you see someone whose legs are above their head,
Yep.
that's exciting for a fraction of a second. If it lasts longer than that, it's too much. It's overexposure. You can't handle it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's been Mighty Morphin Dino Flip Theory Supercharge.
Yep.
Range it.
Man, imagine if dinosaurs did flips.
On skateboards?
Yeah, sure. Well, whatever.
That explains why people love skateboards, right?
Yeah.
Because they go like that, and then all of a sudden,
they
look,
do
you're doing a
flips.
flip.
And like that's the exciting part, right? If you watch a guy skating down a road and he just keeps rolling,
Yeah, that's
not good enough. It's not good until he does a
it's
flip.
fine as a method of transportation, but there's no excitement for me.
Yeah, it has to flip.
It has to flip.
Got to flip.
All right. Matt, do you remember where we were? Oh yeah, this show is about to get fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Okay. So they fight the monster. Monster, who is a lady monster. Her name is Leisure, for reasons that will become apparent very soon.
Yes.
She flies into space. Silhouettes herself between the sun and the earth.
Which is just like a crazy escalation for this show.
Yep.
And then she like in front of the sun, then she charges up her Kamehameha and then blasts the earth.
And you understand what's going to happen, right? Now, okay, it's a sun fire monster. They're going to have to like...
Yeah, they're going to be obliterated by this beam. It's going to roast the surface of the earth. All life will be extinguished.
So Coda's like, guys, we don't want to be in the way of that. Run into the cave.
Yep.
There's some slow motion jumping. Coda and Kendall make it into the shadow of the cave. Everyone else is disintegrated instantly.
Yes. No.
No, they're hit by the vacation ray. At which point this episode goes so far off the rails that it finds a new set of rails and I think like does a wheelie on them.
I think there's a flip on the rails. That's why we love it.
So at this point,
Yep.
everybody who isn't Coda and Kendall just chills the fuck out because they are in a permanent mental state of vacation.
Yeah. So I think vacation here is a polite euphemism for recreational drugs.
Yeah, that's fair. They're just like lying down. Ivan's running around like a mad person.
They're just enjoying music, enjoying the sun, chilling out. It's great.
So, as Coda explained, this was terrible back in the old days because the monster's sunshine made everyone stop working. No one hunted. People starved.
Yeah.
And
So it happens when you're on too many drugs.
Kendall's like, "Do you know how to stop that? Maybe? Do you got anything?" And Coda's
Drink
like,
some coffee, I think.
So it's like, remember the circle thing? It's a good thing your grandmother found that because that's going to be very important.
Yep.
So they cover themselves in blankets and head back to the base.
Yes.
Just leave the Power Rangers there.
They're fine. I mean, they're having the best time. I want to be hit by these people. I need a vacation so bad, Michael.
Well, Matt, maybe you need to
Go out into the sun? That
go out
happens
into the
very
sun. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So Heckle's got a monster to blame.
Yes.
And it looks very much like Leisure.
Yeah.
It's not. It's his twin brother. Her twin brother. This is Loafer. That's another added bit of something that... Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
So Loafer is basically just there at this point to explain what the fuck is going on.
Yes.
And at this point, Heckle finds out that the monsters are immune to the ray.
Before that, though, he gets really angry at Loafer for the Power Rangers being affected by this ray. I didn't understand why he was so angry about that.
I think he's just upset that someone's doing a thing that he didn't approve of.
Yes.
Because we
That's a
see at the
dick.
end of the episode, like, he's not particularly happy with a couple of the monsters. I think he's just like, if he'd known, he could have planned for it.
Sure.
But shit's going on and he wasn't ready. He's a very type A personality.
Yeah.
I think. I don't really know what that is. It sounds like made up science, Juju.
It's definitely different from Type B.
That's, yeah. Is there a type C?
If there were just two, that'd be a bit lame.
Yeah.
So probably.
Anyway, so the monsters are immune. So he's got a plan now.
Yep.
And, I mean, if you can't figure it out, you were, like, really?
Yeah, he's gonna go steal some cookies.
That's exactly it. 40 cookies.
Yep.
It's as many as 4 10s.
And that's terrible.
It sure is terrible. No, he's going to send some monsters and they're going to just kill the Power Rangers while they're relaxing.
That's mean.
Yeah, well, that's his job.
Hard to relax when people trying to kill you.
Poisandra and Curio hear that, and they're like, all right, well, I guess we'll get in on this. Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah, Matt raised his hand.
Yeah. Didn't they have their heads swapped?
Yeah, they got better.
Wow.
That was magic makeup. They washed it off.
Okay.
Okay, so Coda's got the lens.
Yep.
And they're starting to do some science work. And Kendall luckily took photos of the inside of the cave, so they've got the cave paintings to, like, figure something out with. That's when Tyler calls to show Chase doing a skateboard jump over everyone.
They're having the best time. The one thing that is bad about this episode is that I was jealous of how much they're all relaxing and having a good time.
We now get a relaxation montage.
Yep. It's the best.
It's
the best.
Tyler's on a unicycle jumping up and down. I don't know much about unicycles, but that's impressive stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else is on tandem bikes. Mm-hmm. At which point, Poisandra and Curio ride up, also on a tandem bike. And they've decided that their plan is, like, just chill with the Rangers until the Rangers get tired, and then go for the Energems.
I love this show so much.
So they start dancing to the NZ boys at a pagoda, and Chase is like, hey, I'm dancing. Poisandra tries to grab his Energem. He just starts dancing with her.
Yeah, he pushes her away like, oh, no, don't do that. Let's dance instead. It's so good.
It's just... And then basically, they're having so much relaxation that Poisandra and Curio can't cope.
Yeah.
They just get tired and, like, have to have a rest.
Yes.
What is this show?
I don't know. I love it so much, though, because I love the idea that they want to go and steal the Energems, but just wind up accidentally having a good time with their mortal enemies.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, man. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if at the end of the season, those two just end up, like, chilling.
Poisandra's kind of, like, a bitter and twisted fruit.
I mean, sure, but, like...
And Curio, like...
What?
God, who knows what's going on in that dark heart.
Oh, boy. Okay, so in the base, they've managed to focus the light.
Yes.
But it's not quite working. But if it's not quite working, Grandma Betty knows how to deal with that shit.
When you say that shit...
Stuff not working.
Okay, yeah, cool, alright.
The tap wasn't working, she fixed it.
Yeah, that's a great bit of setup for this story.
Yeah. She went to go change some light bulbs at some point.
Yep.
Anyway, they're playing soccer in the park when Fury and Loafer show up.
This is the best part.
So Fury and Loafer first are angry that Poisandra and Curio are there because that wasn't part of the plan. And second of all, they're gonna just, like, they're no plans to fuck around. They're just gonna kill the Power Rangers.
Yep.
Except even Ivan not taking anything in the universe seriously because of magic is better than Fury.
Yes.
Fury goes after him. Ivan just none of it. Dodges out of the way, rolls over him.
And then has an incredible night burn, which is like mocking Fury for his lame jousting abilities. And he does it with such a shit-eating grin. Oh. I love all of these characters.
Maybe my favourite bit is Loafer shoots some heat rays because he's got that power as well.
Yeah.
They just miss everyone. And Riley just stands there and just grins at him like, yep, that's cool.
Yeah, so the beams like go quite specifically at Riley and explode around him. And Riley has this moment of shock and then like smiles and like, hey, that's cool.
Riley is definitely high right now.
100%.
Like, everyone else might be a little drunk, but Riley is definitely, like, stoned out of his noggin.
Absolutely. Oh, what a legend.
Right. At the cafe, there's lots of people relaxing. I guess once you're hit by it, it works on you even when you go indoors.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's a crisis. People are relaxing and eating good food.
Someone is having a vacation that they describe as T-Rexcellent.
That's T-Rexcellent itself.
I mean, maybe it is a crisis if that's what's going on. So Kendall's like, G-Ma Betty, I need your help. And G-Ma Betty just passive-aggressives the shit out of her.
Yeah.
He's like, you never need my help. Why? I'm so happy that you finally asked for my help. I just want to help all the time. It's so great. I love helping. Thanks so much for letting me help.
Yeah, they have a weird relationship, those two.
They do. And Kendall, I guess maybe she's learning a valuable lesson.
I think by the end of the episode, she has learned a valuable lesson, which is that as much as she might have a difficult relationship with her grandmother, if she doesn't let her grandmother into her life and let her help, then neither of them are going to be satisfied and have the best relationship that they could.
And that would be sad.
It would be sad.
Okay. So Betty takes one look at it and she's instantly like, right, you got one lens, where's the other lens? Kendall's like, oh, yeah.
We don't have one of those.
Betty's like, no worries, breaks her glasses in half, pops out one of the lenses, puts it, just sticky tapes it in. She's like, that should work.
I like Jima.
Glasses are expensive.
Well, it depends where you go. Have you heard of Warby Parker? Can we do a Warby Parker sponsorship right now?
I mean, I'm happy to be sponsored by anyone, and I am going to get new glasses next week. So.
Will they just give us money if we talk about how great Warby Parker is?
I don't think that's how it works.
Damn it.
I mean, that's definitely the general idea about how it works.
Yeah, but the order's probably a bit out.
Yeah, I think probably we'd have to get in touch with them first. Are Warby Parker good? Is that where I should go to get my glasses?
Yeah, absolutely. Check out Warby Parker. Did you know that
probably not?
Almost 80% of the glasses market in America is owned by one giant conglomerate.
I actually did know that.
So all of the brands are under one umbrella, and even the many disparate glasses shops are owned once again by that company.
Sure.
And that's why glasses are so fucking expensive.
Glasses are expensive
because they have a criminal, I guess technically not criminal, an insane monopoly on the market.
There's been Mighty Morphin capitalism danger.
Capitalism is dangerous, but you can fight all that by going to Warby Parker. Very reasonable glasses at very reasonable prices.
I do like reasonable glasses and reasonable prices.
There you go. Check them out. They might be at warbyparker.com. I hope they are. Don't have time to check.
That's why... I'm not saying that's why they're not paying us, but that's definitely adjacent to all the reasons that they're not paying us.
Yeah, that'd be a fair reason to not pay us.
Anyway, so they shoot the ray. It works now. Everyone's like, what am I doing in a museum? This is for nerds.
Yeah. I love too that Kendall's grandma presumably wants her granddaughter's business to succeed and seems quite happy when all of the customers just bitch out of the cafe. They're like, nope, thank you.
I have so many questions about how much does Jima Betty know? Because they're about to go fight some monsters.
I suspect that it's one of those Gmar Betty knows more than Gmar Betty lets on, because Gmar Betty ain't no dumb grandma.
Sure. Okay, so Kendall's going to go to space.
Yep.
Because she's got the space Zord. And I guess Coda has to go protect the other Rangers. But he's going to have to cover himself up. So he gets a big hat, sunglasses, and a poncho.
It's so good.
It's great.
I love that guy.
He finally gets his own full-screen morph. I don't know that he's had one ever.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I miss full screen morphs generally.
Yeah.
And I get why they don't do them, because they have a million fucking Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
It is cool.
It's a hero shot. I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
So he starts fighting.
He also delivers the morphing call, despite him not having anyone else around.
Yeah, it's morphin time. For me.
Yeah.
For me. And I guess, if anyone else wants to show up, what's Prince Philip off doing? Prince Philip's always under the effects of the leisure ray, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's
never not on vacation.
Even when he was super into the idea of becoming a Power Ranger, the way he did that was paying other people to try and find an gem.
Yep.
And punching a robot, but
that's true.
That sounds a bit fun.
Yeah.
Alright, so Coda fights Loafer.
Yep.
Loafer's got an exploding beach ball attack, but
why not, right?
Other than that, he's holding his own, but will go down eventually. Fury's there as well, and it's
a bit much. He does put on his Dino Steel, but he gets knocked off him because he gets a bit too hard.
So the other Rangers show up.
Yeah.
And Matt, what's better than vacation?
Vacation Dino Supercharged time.
So they run into battle.
Morph as they go?
Sorry, they morph as they go. They run through battle, past battle, to hula skirts. They put them on, they start doing the hula.
Yeah.
Morphed.
They're on vacation.
This show.
It's so good. It's good top to bottom. I love it. I love it.
Oh, God. Okay, so meanwhile in space, Kendall's in her Plesio Charge Megazord. She briefly takes a hit from Leisure and then just straight away.
It does not seem like it's hard work.
No.
This scene seems so weirdly disconnected from the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's vaguely serious, whereas down on Earth, the Rangers are in hula skirts dancing.
Yep.
She's up there by herself, so there's no one to talk to. It's strange. It's real strange.
It is nice. It's the first, like, real big hero moment Kendall's got since becoming a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And in this case, it is definitely, like, strange out of context. But it's it's nice that she got one at all.
It's also, like, weirdly Kendall, in that, like, it was a big hero moment that no one ever saw and she would never really tell anyone about.
And she just did incredibly efficiently and just, like...
Just took care of it. No one even has to know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she gets the lens, which, by the way, that thing is not in proportion in the CGI shot to the Megazord. Because it's basically the same size as it was when they were people.
Yep.
Anyway, shines the ray at Earth. Everyone's back to normal.
Yay, vacation's over. Oh.
So as soon as the other Power Rangers are like, yep, we're good, Fury's like, well, I am out.
Yeah, I love how quickly, there's no hesitation. She's like, 6 Rangers? No, thank you.
No.
I'm out.
1, 2, like me and another guy against 1? Yeah, I'll do that one.
Yeah.
6? No.
I don't know if he's ever done this before, but I noticed that when he teleported, he, like, raised his fire sword and then, like, slashed it against the ground to make sparks and disappeared in the sparks.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
So all the other monsters run away into, like, a parking garage.
Yep.
We get a brief Vivix fight in there. There's some cool stuff. Shelby, like, puts her legs around Coda's neck and he spins her around and she shoots.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Chase does some shooting and then hoists Ivan into the air and he does, like, a jumping attack.
Super cool. Tyler bounces off a wall.
Yep. Not as cool, but pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
It's like a flip, but in a horizontal dimension.
Yeah, I mean, that's a rotating flip.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's highly sought after.
So at that point, Poisandra and Curio peace out as well.
Yep.
Because, we can't kill them.
Sadly.
So Coda starts fighting Loafer and he gets some hits in. And then Tyler's like, I got this. T-Rex Supercharge. And it's the one with the hammer and the ball and chain.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
I love that ball and chain. And I love what happens here even more specifically. So Tyler's on one side, Loafer's in the middle, Coda's on the other end. Tyler, like, throws his ball and chain past the two of them. Coda grabs the chain and, like, rotates the ball back into him.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah. And monster extincted.
Monster extincted.
Yep.
That's
it.
the catchphrase. I wondered if he was going to grow giant.
Yeah.
But we've already had our Megazord destroy an identical monster. So it's okay that they don't.
Bit of a weird structure of this episode. I get why it had to be that way, but it's odd.
Yeah. Agreed. Alright, so it's time for kind of wrapping stuff up.
Yep.
Poisandra and Curio were going to go on a real vacation to Hawaii. They bought airline tickets, which is the strangest thing in this entire episode.
It is.
How are they going to check in? What?
I had down the TSA are going to have a real hell of a time with that.
I'm sure at least one of them has got a weapon built into their physical form. And if not, they'd be like, take off that costume, ma'am. And she'd be like, no, this is just...
This is me, baby.
Yeah, boy. Heckle is like, no, you've got to do the washing up. And he gives the tickets to some Vivix.
Which might be worse.
They can't even speak.
Yeah.
Except for that one who they gave a face to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which is a nice reminder that Vivix have complex emotions until you murder them.
They like Hawaii, for instance.
Yeah.
So back at the cave, Coda also learns a valuable lesson. His grandfather wasn't just making rules. Mm-hmm. He had a reason for making those rules, even if they didn't know it at the time.
Yep.
I'd love for it to turn out that, like, Coda's grandfather made some incredibly terrible rules as well. He was like, oh no, grandfathers get all the food. That's the rule.
Yeah, that's the rule. I mean, he was a caveman. He was probably wrong about 80% of things. Then again, like, he took out this monster that the Rangers struggled with. Yeah, presumably he was just a dude.
Yeah. I'd like to know more about Koda's, like, basically a Power Ranger, but just a caveman granddad.
Yeah, like making lenses and shit. That's ahead of his time.
And finally,
Yep.
we've re-established communication with the Silver Ranger.
Oh, good. He's here to check in once again to say, hey, Michael, no points for you, buddy.
I
Suck
had
it.
the worst week. Like, literally, I think I had probably the second worst week possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that in a sec. The Dark Energem has resurfaced.
Oh, no. Is that bad?
So, the 10 Energems that we know about were formed from pure good. But the
love
Dark
that stuff.
Energem was formed from pure darkness.
Oh, shit. I hate that stuff.
So the Silver Ranger is like, give me all the information on your Zords and Megazords, and I may be able to destroy it. And Kendall says, hold the phone.
That doesn't sound like a super great idea. But then, the world's worst creature,
He's the
Keeper, turned out to be like, hey, guys, what if we did give this guy who we don't know all of the secrets?
You said a couple of weeks ago that you were feeling like a mysteriously evil vibe about the Silver Ranger.
Yeah.
I hadn't quite been feeling that up until he said, tell me everything about your weaknesses.
Yes.
And then Kendall was like, I don't know if we should. And I was like, okay, first of all, yes, good solution. Second of all, like, potentially evil Power Ranger that we shouldn't trust. That's an exciting direction for this show to go in.
Right.
And then Keeper is like, no, we have to do this. Give him all the information.
He's the worst.
This is going to bite them in the ass next week or the week after.
Oh, boy.
And I hope someone tears the shit out of Keeper. Because he is genuinely the worst. And that's the worst decision.
He's the worst leader. Like, Zordon was, like, pointlessly obtuse most of the time, but was not incompetent.
Zordon never said to Alpha, hey Alpha, can you fax all the information we have to Rita? Just, it would be good if she knew how to destroy all of our things.
And I just know, because it is the show, he's not going to get the comeuppance he deserves.
No, he's going to get it. He may learn a valuable lesson if we're lucky.
I doubt it. He's just so bad.
He's so bad.
Kendall deserves to be the boss of that operation so much more.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's sexism.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. The incompetent dude is in charge and the incredibly capable woman is second in command.
It might be racism. Because he's an alien.
Maybe.
Alright, Matt, well, we did Fantasy Zordon.
Boy, will we.
Do you remember last week where I said, I'm 9 points ahead of you, but if you have a good week, you can catch up? I'm just going to come right out and say it. I got 2 points this week because the Aqua Ranger wasn't there.
God, I wish they just were walking down a hallway and there was just like a photo of him or something.
I was half expecting, once the Silver Ranger called, I was half expecting Tyler to go, hold on, I have to call my dad just to fuck with Michael.
Yep.
So, literally, like, Shelby did nothing, Chase did nothing, the Silver Ranger just showed up just to mess with me.
Yep.
And the Aqua Ranger wasn't there, so I got 2 points. Mm-hmm. That's officially the second worst possible score you could ever score in this game.
Yep.
How did you go, Matt?
Oh, well, you know.
Okay, so let's talk 2 points for Graphite Ranger because he didn't show up.
Yeah, thanks for that, Graphite Ranger.
Alright, how about Riley?
No points for Riley.
No points for Riley. Okay, that's fair. So you probably just did okay from the other two.
You mean from Kendall and Coda, the two awesome stars of this episode who did really good stuff.
What did Coda do?
Well, Coda, Michael.
Yep.
Yeah, my friend Coda.
Yep.
He actually entered a power-up mode. Twice.
Yep.
He did that twice.
Yeah, he sure did.
So, there was that.
Yep.
Okay. He also delivered the morphing call for himself.
Yeah,
but
sure.
he was still delivering the morphing call. So there was 3 points there.
Yep.
He also learnt a valuable lesson. So that was 3 points.
Yeah.
That's a total of 10 points from my friend Coda.
Sure is a total of 10 points. What about Kendall?
Kendall.
Yeah.
I mean, she's pretty cool too.
She is.
She was part of the only Megazord formation in the episode.
Yep.
Giving her 2 points. She entered a power-up mode in the Megazord. So that's another 2 points.
She sure did.
She learnt a valuable lesson.
Yep.
So that is 3 points.
Yep.
And then on top of that, she solo defeated the monster of the week And I don't know if you know this, Michael. I mean, you probably do because you designed the system. That's worth 5 points.
That hasn't happened at all in Dino Charge. We've never given anyone points for that, I don't think.
Yeah. You did it, but... so that was 5 points.
So what's that a total of, Matthew?
That is a total of 12 points.
So, but overall for your team?
Oh, overall for my team. I'm sorry, I apologise. 24 points.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's look at the spread.
Yeah.
The lowest number of points anyone has is 185.
Yep.
The top end of the chain is 217.
Mm-hmm.
There's about a 30-point split. And again, very close to the middle, you and I. I'm on 186 points. You're on 197.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop.
So you've not only come back to even,
Yep.
you've pushed yourself to how far ahead of you I was last week.
Yeah, I must tell Tim about that.
So there's like 8 episodes of this show left. The Silver Ranger had better do some stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Surely he's going to have some things going on.
I mean,
He may not.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Who does know?
All right. Matt, let's do the Ranger Danger Dino Charge creature feature.
Yeah.
Leisure and Loafer.
Yeah. Are we going to rank them together?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no reason not to.
They may be an identical monster costume. I'm genuinely not sure.
I would love to know what it says on the back of their surfboards.
Yeah, look, maybe we'll go through and we'll try and pause it at some point.
Yeah.
Good gimmick.
Yes. Bizarre gimmick.
Unquestionably.
Yep.
Design that fit the gimmick, even if it didn't make sense.
Yes.
For the episode.
Yes.
Not like a great personality, but the idea of like twin monsters is kind of an interesting thing.
It would be an interesting thing if it was an interesting thing, but it's not.
I guess. No,
And also, they weren't like... There was no, like, duality there.
No, they didn't interact at all, in fact.
There was no, like, they have compatible or, like...
No.
Complementary powers. One had an exploding beach ball and the other one made people have vacation.
Yep. Those are complimentary. What are you talking about? Okay. I don't think the bottom of the pack.
No.
But like the bottom middle.
Yeah.
That kind of third quarter.
I think that's about the right spot.
Okay, so there's 30 monsters on the list and 1 NA for Beauty Cruel because not possible.
Your brain can't comprehend it.
So I guess the bottom half of the list, let's look at Poisandra is at 22.
Yep.
Better or worse than Poisandra?
Ooh. I think worse.
I'd agree.
At least Poisandra's interesting.
So further down from Poisandra, Fury, worse than Fury.
Alright.
Meteor is next. He had like that cool meteor attack, but very little else going for him.
Yeah, I think Vacation Ray from Space outclasses Meteor Attack. So I reckon that's where it goes.
I'd agree. So that's them at number 24.
Yeah. It's alright. That's the same amount of points as I got in Fantasy Zordon this week, so that's cool.
Yep.
That's 2 dozen.
Yeah. Thanks.
That's 4 half dozens.
It's 6 fours, yep.
Yeah.
8 threes.
Yeah. That's math.
A dozen twos.
Yep.
24 ones.
And 2 dozens, already said that.
48 halves.
Yep. And at 96 quarters. I did it.
The look on your face that the listeners can't see was, that is correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back next week with Recipe for Disaster, which sounds to me like the name of an important episode where lots of things happen with the Silver Ranger.
No, it sounds like a food-based episode.
Yeah, it probably...
He'll show up to give his cake recipe at the end. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back then.
We'll see you then. Until then, we haven't signed off yet. We need to sign off. Quick, what's a sign off?
That's definitely not a sign off. That's not... I don't cope well under pressure, Matthew. This is not an improvisation podcast.
All right, I'm going to do one right now.
Okay.
I'm going to say, thanks for listening, and get out of your doors and see some of the nice things that are out there in the world sometime. No, you don't have to do it like right now, but when is convenient for you. Bye, guys. Welcome back to Ranger Danger Super Dino Charge. That's not it.
No, that's
no,
right.
I knew it.
It's fine. Don't stop it. Just keep going.
Welcome once again to Ranger Danger Dino Supercharge. This is the podcast where we wake up everyone who's sleeping. I need to do that again.
Okay. This might take 46 minutes. Okay.
Welcome once again to Ranger Danger Dino
Sorry,
Supercharge.
can I interrupt you? Just that's closer to you and you're louder, so I might just shift it, and that way we can probably even out.
Loud man.